States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Steve, call roll, please.
Yes, sir. Griselius.
Here.
Cromwell.
Here.
Feltzing.
Here.
Ramke.
Here.
Shadle.
Here.
Tyler.
Here.
Chairman Manchester.
Here. Glad to see you all tonight. Bill, you have the minutes motion.
I move that the reading of the minutes for August 6, 2012 be waived and that the minutes of said meeting as prepared by the secretary be approved as written.
Second.
Senator Griselius. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Cromwell.
Aye.
Feltzing.
Aye.
Ramke.
Aye.
Shadle.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Griselius.
Aye.
Chairman Manchester.
Aye. John, you have a motion concerning ramp.
Yes. I moved to take from the table a resolution entitled, "A Resolution Constituting the Final Report of the Paducah Planning Commission on the Addition of the Renaissance Area Master Plan, RAMP, as an element of the comprehensive plan and recommend same to the City Commission be adopted."
Second.
All right, the motion is to remove it from the table, but it's already been scheduled for a date certain, which is today, so this is the motion in front of us at this time. Steve?
I have had contact with PRDA staff. They are finalizing the changes for what I've been told. Going to be forwarding those back to the PRDA board within the next several weeks, and hopefully within the next 30 days, they say that a document should actually come before you.
Well, our next regular meeting will be on the 17th of September, because we won't have it first Thursday, Thursday, Monday is
Labor Day, yeah.
Labor Day. Okay. Is that correct, 17th?
That's correct.
And you think it will have the revised things to us by then?
Of course, I can't speak for PRDA, but what I have been told is that they're going to be considering it, and then hopefully those changes would come back to Planning Commission at that meeting.
Well, I'm getting to know some of these people that have been coming. I have a motion to table this. What we're doing is continuing the public hearing so we don't have to re-advertise it. And Kathy?
Motion to continue to September the 17th meeting.
Motion been made. Do I have a
Second.
Tyler, to table this till September the 17th, 2012. And I apologize again. Call the roll.
Griselius.
Aye.
Cromwell.
Aye.
Feltzing.
Aye.
Schramke.
Aye.
Shadle.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Chairman Manchester.
Aye. John, you have the Strawberry Hill, or do you? No, you don't.
think-
Earl does.
I do. I move that this commission receive and file the application of Strawberry Hills LLC for the proposed re-subdivision of property located at 4570 Pecan Drive. I further move that the requested approval be given in compliance with all other applicable provision of the Paducah subdivision ordinance be waived.
Second.
3 seconds. Schramke, Felson, and Johnny. Okay. Engineer is here. Do you want to have any questions of him, or you want any comments? The only thing that they have asked us to waive that I remember is the sidewalk. Is that correct?
And that would be on the next agenda item, which is the preliminary subdivision.
Oh, okay.
Right now,
We're
this
dealing
is
with a waiver
the-
right now.
Right now.
Slot 9C, track 9C.
This is the property right next to Dr. Wilson's
Yes.
Yes.
on the other side of the road that's going to be coming
Yes, sir,
across.
that's correct. The city had requested some modifications to the plat, and we have made those. There is a return radius was changed from a 25-foot return radius there at that intersection with James Sanders and Pecan Drive from a 25-foot to a 30-foot return radius, where it would accommodate with the signal light pole requirements in their area for that. Let's see, we had a few minor notes that we've added. I can't think of anything else on that plat.
That was on the request.
Requested to change. Main thing was the radius.
So off Pecan, the road's going to go south approximately,
Yes, sir.
and the radius that's been enlarged is like that south.
Yes, it'd be the southeast corner of that intersection.
Somebody coming north out of that new road line up exactly as they go north to the road that exists now by Paducah Bank, is that?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So there won't be any changes to stoplight or traffic pattern
No,
at that intersection?
no.
There may be some changes required to the stoplight to make it a four-way intersection.
Oh,
Of
okay,
course,
other than
that'll be reviewed
four-way
through our
stop,
engineer.
but I mean, it's going to be it's not going to be offset in any way.
Actually, I think the four-way intersection was already planned out previously, so what's out there should work with what we're proposing. I don't foresee any changes on the existing roads there or traffic patterns on the
Four lane
existing.
there. But that intersection is currently 4 lanes.
Yes,
Three
three.
lanes, yeah, it's turn lane and
And east-west lane. All right.
There aren't any plans to build on the flood zone area of this property?
No,
Didn't think so.
none to my knowledge.
I had a question, Rick. Is this 24-foot easement at the request of the owners? The one along the south property line?
Oh, yes, it was. In conjunction with the development of this track 9C, there was a ingress egress easement put there splitting that new property line because the access for the south end of the parking lot that's being proposed, that entrance would straddle that property line, and that entrance then could be used for property to the south
For
as
property,
well. It'd be a shared entrance instead of having two separate entrances.
That's good.
And we did run that ingress egress easement all the way back and terminate it at the existing utility lines where JSA has sewer lines back
Right.
there. It
So
just
that-
gave them another way of
Yeah,
access by doing that.
access. Okay.
Any other questions? Call roll, please, Steve.
Tyler,
Aye.
Grisilius,
Aye.
Cromwell,
Aye.
Beltzing,
aye.
Ramke, Shadle,
Aye.
Chairman Manchester.
Hi, Kathy, you have the preliminary subdivision.
Yes, sir.
Strawberry Hills.
In the matter of the Strawberry Hill LLC property located at 4600 Village Square Drive within the city limits, I move that the preliminary subdivision plan for the Strawberry Hill development be approved, and that the matter be continued generally pending submission of a final plan incorporating all requirements made known to the applicant at the conclusion of the hearing.
Second.
John? Shadle, second.
Now, with this plat, preliminary plat, there were a few comments from city engineering. Again, this came up about the return radius, affects this plat as well, because this plat will be dedicating the road right-of-way, or the final plat will be. That change has been reflected on the preliminary plat. We do have a request to waive the requirements of sidewalks on both sides of the proposed road through this development. The closest sidewalks to this project going to the east is 6/10 of a mile at the intersection of Pecan and Buckner Lane. And going to the west, the closest sidewalks are 4/10 of a mile at the intersection of Village Square Drive and New Hope Road. The construction of sidewalks through this here would basically lead just to another street that has no sidewalks. This is intended for commercial property, and really don't see much foot traffic through this. It's not like it would be a residential
Sidewalk.
subdivision.
Yeah, it's because there's no sidewalk.
Okay, any questions, comments?
How far is this may be not related to this particular one, but how far does the city property go to the, I guess, the east on Pecan Drive from where where the new, that Strawberry Hill is?
Okay, you talk about the property
There's a
there is
section-
owned by the city of Paducah?
Yeah, there's a section in there, isn't it, it's county between, what is it, where Buckner Lane is, and there's,
Pretty much at the end of the Strawberry Hills property right here,
you know,
until you get across the bridge a little bit further down before the city picks back up. Is that what you're referring to?
yes.
And that's the section that there is no sidewalks.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering what we could do to get, because you do see people walking all the time down Pecan Drive. I mean, people with dogs and kids on bikes or trikes and that, and even carrying shopping bags with them or carts with them. And I was just wondering what it would take to get a sidewalk for them to, because they're obviously heading towards the mall, and to me, it makes sense to try to provide some way for them to get there. But if it's part of the county, I don't know if we'll make it or not.
You'd have to widen that bridge too, I think.
Probably.
I don't know if they,
Well, and in that same respect too, the subdivision that I live in
yeah,
has sidewalks, but when you come out to Perkins Creek, there are
Yeah.
no sidewalks.
yeah.
You have sidewalks in the subdivision, but everything stops.
Yeah, and people do walk, you know, I mean, they do walk to places nowadays.
Bicycles.
Of course, this entire subdivision was all developed when it was part of the county. All the subdivision plans were approved. It was after that subdivision plan took place that the annexation actually happened by the city. Strawberry Hill.
When it came into the city, it was all one large acreage lot, wasn't it?
Yes, but the subdivision had already taken place as far as the dedication of right-of-way.
But just one.
Yeah, well, originally, wasn't it, all
Dan?
set aside for Target, wasn't it?
Help us recollect here.
I really can't remember.
Village Square Drive, Perkins Drive, those were all.
It did come in. I mean, Don's out there.
Yeah.
Don, all this came in as one tract into the city, didn't it? The whole Strawberry Hill. The Strawberry Hill property all came into the city from the county in one tract.
That is correct.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, so.
And based on the sidewalks, our opinion is our development, you know, that is commercial, just like Rick said, and I drive through there quite frequently, and I don't see anybody walking up and down the commercial area there now. What this gentleman said is bringing it from Pecan Drive, that would be on the side where Paducah Bank's located, I would assume, but you got a bridge and everything to get people, pedestrians across it to the
Well, they gotta
sidewalk.
walk on the highway now.
Yeah, there are people walking.
There's a lot of people walking out there,
Well,
if you travel it.
But walking up and down on through Strawberry Hill from the bank on towards Holt Road, I'd go through there quite often, and I haven't ever seen anybody walking.
Well,
Not to say
have
that
to
they
keep in
don't.
mind, sir, not to be a smart aleck or anything, but they don't walk probably because there isn't a sidewalk.
Yeah, I could probably understand that, but, you know, with the development like it is for vehicle traffic, you know, for the development for what is brought to the city, you know, all the rest of the property hasn't been required, and this is gonna be a little alcove off of it, which would not come into play from what you tried to explain there for people on Pecan Drive, because it goes from
Yeah, I
Village
understand
Square
that.
back to Perkins Creek, so. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Grisillas?
Aye.
Cromwell? Feltzing?
Aye.
Schramke? Shadle?
Aye.
Tyler? Chairman Manchester?
Aye. Paul, do you have the next motion?
And number 3.
Warehouse Inc.
Yes, I had to. Yes, I do. I move that this commission receive and file the application of Warehouse, Inc. for the proposed re-subdivision of property located at 901 and 911 Joe Clifton Drive. I further move that the requested approval be given in compliance with all other applicable provisions of the Paducah subdivision ordinance be waived.
Second by Mr. Fowler. Discussion.
I'm confused. Skip one?
We did, we skipped one, but
I
that's
think we
okay.
skipped one.
Or was it
Well, this
called?
is already in front of the,
It's okay.
we'll get it back in.
Sure, it's no problem.
I never got it, Steve.
Yeah, the plot, I don't have a number 4.
No, we're probably doing it now.
Which one are you looking for?
4.
Number 4, the plot.
Greater Paducah
Warehouse.
Economic was what?
I was talking about the plat.
No, it's nine oh one, 904.
I don't have a 90, an 04.
I don't either.
We don't have the plats for
But you had, I gave you the motion.
Yeah, I have the motion, yes, but not the drawings.
We have the revised plats. Would you like me to hand those out real quick to you?
Well, that's, might be best, because I, thinking back,
Yeah. I don't have one.
see what we do.
Don't have it.
We can share here, I think.
Yeah.
Where are we at? So, this street is
Ross.
Ross. Where the heck is that?
Move this boundary lines.
Yeah, center line of 29th Street. There's 29.
They wanted to move
This is 28. Yeah.
private swamps where they had it here, but I wanted to make sure that yes, private swamps were there, and here they got it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. And then they're just, all I wanted to do is what?
Pretty much the notes,
This is the Family
They were on
Service
the-
Society here.
engineering comment.
Oh, public utility.
Yeah.
See if there's any other notes over there. Yeah, those were the 4 notes.
There's 2 points of egress to this property. One's on Lead Avenue and the other one's on Joe Clifton Drive.
Yes. Now, based on, you never saw what Miss Schrampke's got. There's 2 revisions. One is, and you do have a copy of this on yours,
You have the revisions.
a development restriction. Backed by the big freezer. That was by request of Mr.
Here.
Fugate. We added that. And the property line that run along and parallel with the freezer has been moved over 10 feet to its current location. That is the only change, but
Y'all have any questions after you reviewed this? Bill, have you seen it at all?
I haven't seen it. But I'll work through.
Yes, 10-foot setback.
The first two notes that you saw under 1 and 2 in the staff report, those were done previously, so those have been taken care of also.
So revisions have been made on this that you all requested.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Call roll, please.
Did you get that motion back?
I'm the one that made it.
Feltzing,
Aye.
Schramke,
Aye.
Shadle,
Aye.
Tyler,
Aye.
Grisilius,
Aye.
Cromwell,
Aye.
Chairman Manchester.
Lorraine, you have a motion.
I move that this commission receive and file the application of the city of Paducah for the proposed re-subdivision of property located at 1401 Harrison Street. I further move that the requested approval be given and compliance with all other applicable provisions of the Paducah subdivision ordinance be waived.
Second.
Seconded by Basilius. Discussion. I didn't want to increase it.
They have the grave on it or not? It does have it? I do want to point out one thing to you. You'll see on an adjoining tract of land up along Martin Luther King Drive that shows that there's a grave site. We've since found out that that is not an official grave site, and there is no one buried there. It's just set up with an official headstone. Looks just like it's got a mourning seat, the whole thing, everything, but it's not a grave site. It's been removed from the plat.
That would have indeed given a different approach to this. Is this property going to be immediately sold, or is it already sold?
The property has not been sold. It is, we do have, we had sealed bids several weeks ago submitted for this property. We anticipate going to the city commission within the next 15 to 30 days to start the process for transfer.
Call roll.
Schramke,
Aye.
Shadle,
Aye.
Tyler,
Aye.
Grisilius,
Aye.
Cromwell,
Aye.
Feltzing,
Aye.
Chairman Manchester.
Aye.
Greater Paducah Economic Development, or just skip that?
I don't have that motion either.
You don't?
Does anybody have the motion on a waiver subdivision at 1401 Harrison?
No, no. This is for Marshall Court.
Or is it Greater Paducah Economic Development? That's what we just did, wasn't it?
We
Wasn't-
just did, City of Paducah.
Read that for us. Lou.
You didn't give it to
Go
me.
ahead.
I move that this commission receive and file the application of the Greater Paducah Economic Development Council for the proposed re-subdivision of property located at 100, 130, and 150 Marshall Court. I further move that the requested approval be given and compliance with all other applicable provisions of the Paducah subdivision ordinance be waived.
Second.
Second for Cromwell. Any questions?
Is there currently a cell tower on this property?
There is.
Okay.
It's in the shaded area. It's shown as new track 1A.
Can you tell me what kind of cell tower it is?
It's a monopole. That's about all.
That's what we needed to know.
Okay.
Thank you. That's the answer.
It's a monopole.
We just had several of us went to a seminar recently, and part of it was on cell tower.
Okay.
So. Is there anyone else currently using the cell tower? I mean, is it multiple use or multiple carriers, or is it just one carrier?
Do you know, Lisa?
I just wondered.
Yeah.
I'm Lisa Emmons, and I'm here for GPDC. Basically, we are trying to subdivide the cell track out of, we're trying to subdivide the cell track out of the larger track so that we can sell the larger track to a development. It's to be sold to Superior Care Homes for their new, senior citizen type facility. The cell tower is existing. It's been there since 2008. There won't be any changes
Okay.
in that facility. It'll remain as is.
So will this cell tower be moved then to the?
No, it will remain at where it is.
Pardon me?
It will remain where it is.
Oh, okay.
You're just separating it
Property
from the
lines.
property lines from the
Right.
rest of the track, okay.
Because we are currently leasing that, and we're just wanting to own the fee
Understand.
and separate that from the larger parent tract.
Any other questions? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Call roll, Steve.
Priscillius,
Aye.
Cromwell. Feldstein,
Aye.
Ramke,
Aye.
Shadle,
Aye.
Tyler,
Aye.
Chairman Manchester.
Aye. Any other business?